just like a broken record, same old songs of accusation play. Like who are you to speak the truth? Just look at all your failures and mistakes. And if they really knew you, there's no way they could love you anyway. Oh, but I will fight the lies with the truth.
Hello, and welcome to Send Help Podcast, a podcast and a lifeline for moms who are stuck in the trenches of mommyhood, bringing them encouragement through Jesus, laughter, and sisterhood.
Hood. Yes.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
I hope that things are wonderful for you on this
Right?
fine Monday.
Yes. Doesn't fall start this week?
I think so.
Like we can officially bring out pumpkins.
Yes. It was 88 degrees outside today.
I know. It was amazing.
Yeah. Made you
So
want to
good.
drink hot coffee outside.
I know.
Weirdly.
I know.
With a scarf.
I sat on my porch all day.
That's true. You had a garage
We
sale
had a garage sale. Made $30.
today. Woo!
The permit cost $10. Just saying.
Oh, fun.
Right? Doing it again tomorrow.
Why?
It's going to be awesome. You know, sometimes
don't
you just
get
got to
that.
clear out. You
I
just gotta-
guess. For 20
gotta
bucks.
purge.
All day.
It won't all fit in the car for Goodwill. So
You got to thin it out.
thin it out first. Make some cash for
How
Christmas.
many things did you sell for 20 bucks?
Sold a few things for $5, mostly a bunch of things for $1. Priced to sell, people.
Yeah.
Priced to sell. How much do you want for this? $1. Really? Yup. Gimme.
Just take it away.
Yeah. It's a crawling bear. Take it. It sings too. Fresh batteries.
You guys know we have talked about how Kristy and Dusty box.
Yeah.
And that's really incredible. I don't know of another married couple that boxes each other.
I do. And they're the ones that
Right.
I found out about the boxing from.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are other couples that he works with or not, but guys, it's so much fun. So much fun. It's stress relieving.
It would be fun to be able to
It's-
hit legally your husband.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense, Tim. You're in the room. He's sitting right here.
Yeah. I'm sure he knows that there are times that you would like to punch him. Mm-hmm. I'm sure every husband knows that there are times. They probably know when it's happening. She wants to punch me.
I'm really thinking, like, does he take other
First
people?
session's free.
First session is free. Thinking I may need to box. I
Yeah.
really do think I
Yeah.
might need to.
It's great. He it's funny. He calls it marriage counseling 101. He seems to know when there's a little tension between us. Like, you guys want to spar today? Yes, please. He's had to calm me down a few times.
I don't know that I can.
I'm not
handle-
very good, so it's
I'm
not like
good
I'm.
at being hit.
Yeah, well, and Dusty has to go a lot slower with me. I mean, we take turns. So like one person is supposed to practice the punch and the other person is supposed to practice the duck and the block.
Mm-hmm.
I am really, really horrible at the duck and the block. I'm not. I'm really bad, y'all. So we box. We go twice a week. And we've come a long way. I was really, he told me one day, he's like, you know, when y'all first started, I was worried about you. But I think you could actually punch somebody now if you needed to.
Wow.
So that's big.
That is big.
That's like a huge compliment for me, because y'all, I was bad. I was really bad. Like my idea of going at it on the punching bag, it was like a Muppet spazzing out in the corner with the punching bag or something. It was bad. But he has to go slower with me. He's trying to get Dusty to, he tells Dusty all the time, like, you have progressed a lot faster than I've ever seen anyone progress in this. He's trying to get him to actually fight. I'm very educated in the topic of boxing. Yeah. I don't know.
Educated.
Anyway. So I actually told him that I was going to talk about boxing.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? I was like, yes, because I know so much about it now. And he just laughed at me. He's like, you know a little bit. So we take turns. One of us will punch on the back. We do rounds. Like if you are actually boxing, you do however many rounds in the ring against your opponent. And we do that, but we take turns, and then we do like 5 rounds that will go. So like 5 rounds on the heavy bag, 5 rounds with him. When it's Dusty's turn, like I'll watch them when I'm supposed to be punching the heavy bag. I'll watch them like they're going at it. Like they're going at it. Like both of them get a workout and are sweating when their round is done. When it's my turn, he pretty much stands in the same place. We work really hard on him and getting me to move my feet and to keep my gloves up. And he has to tell me when he's going to swing.
Yeah.
So he'll say like, jab, jab, duck. And if I'm not listening, then I get a little slap in the face.
I mean, like, okay, growing up, I close my eyes every time anything is flying at my face.
Yes.
And my child has hit me in the face. And I've had children hit me in the face at work, at the different jobs that I have worked with children.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I want to pay someone to hit me in the face.
Right.
I don't
Well,
know.
he hits Dusty a lot harder than he hits me.
Like, no
He
way.
barely taps me.
But I also don't know. I believe that I could hit somebody, but at the same time.
Well, and see, that's what, you have those dreams.
Yeah. Like,
The dreams
a
I'm
lot of
talking
times
about that like
in my
something's
dreams,
going on
yeah.
and you have to punch, like your life is depending on it and you have to punch the person.
Are you ever
And
able to
then when
really
you-
do
no,
it in your dream?
when,
Me
like
neither.
you have your whole force of your body behind it, and when it actually makes contact, it's like you're barely touching them with the tip
and
of
it's
your
so
index finger.
frustrating.
Yes.
There's got to be somebody. All right.
So I have
somebody that
always
listens to
firmly
this
believed that
and
that would
knows
be how I would
dreams.
actually punch somebody.
Yeah, somebody that's listening to this and can dream
Someone
interpret.
tell us
Please
what
let us
that
know what that
means.
means, because I do. That's every time I have to
Yes.
hit somebody in a dream, I can never
Like
make
there's
contact.
yeah.
It's like I make contact, but it does nothing.
Right.
And I'm completely helpless. And I'm like, and I can feel it throughout my whole body. Like right
Yes.
now, just talking about it, like I'm having a sensory moment of this dream of like,
Right.
and it's like,
It's frustrating. You're terrified. And
it's like you
scared
put
for
your
life
whole
and-
body into it and then it
Yes.
just stops
Yes.
and nothing, it doesn't like go through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
I'm right there with you all the time.
Anytime.
Every single time in my dream that I've ever had to punch somebody. So I just envision that if I were to ever actually encounter that situation, that's what would happen. We met this guy. He's actually deacon, elder. I'm not sure which term
Elder
to
statesman?
use for
I'm going to say elder.
elder. That's
Yeah.
what I want to call him too.
Yes.
So he can tell me later. Anyway, so I've known him for a long time. I actually knew him when I was in high school. He might not know that because I didn't ever speak to anybody.
Right.
Now I'm married to someone that speaks to everybody.
And their dog.
Yes.
Yes.
So he probably doesn't remember that I went there. And I knew even back then that he used to box. I can't tell you his titles.
Gotcha.
Because I don't know what they are. I do know that he made the Olympic team one year.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really good. He's a great, great guy. I know more of that side of him.
Yeah.
Which speaks to who he is, because I know him to be a serious man of faith.
Yeah.
He's very discerning. There was one day that it was my turn on the mitts, and he looked at me, and he could tell immediately, I think, on looking at my face because of my horrible poker face, that I was not having a good day. The kids were not acting the way that they normally act. And I think that my faces were geared towards them. So he looked at me and said, they're not the enemy, Mama. He said, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers and the authorities and the powers of present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. That's our enemy. They ain't the enemy, Mommy. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Give me a jab. Let's go. Let's go. But he does that. I almost started crying, and I'm like trying to suck it up because I'm boxing. Like I have boxing gloves.
He's going to hit you in the face.
He's going to hit me in the face if I don't start paying attention. Yes. And I'm about to just bawl. And okay, right, jab, duck, jab, like trying not to just start crying because he hit me in the gut with that in that moment.
Yeah. Not literally.
Not literally. No, we were boxing. No, not literally. He doesn't ever hit me hard. It's like a little tap. I think he knows that I would just fall over.
And cry.
At
that point, that's not what you need. You need to hit something, not be hit. You've been hit all day.
But from that moment on, because he's telling me this as I'm boxing, like as I'm throwing punches, he's saying this to me. And I just immediately start equating boxing to my spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
And there are so many things that interrelate. And I know absolutely nothing about boxing.
Yeah.
But it has become so clear to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to talk about a few of them. But please remember, I know nothing about boxing.
Yeah.
Just because I go twice a week does not mean that I know about boxing at all in any way, because I'm really bad at it. Okay, so thinking about it, when I'm working with him, I have to keep my eyes on him.
Right.
I tend to focus on his shoulders. Like my eyes are zoned in to his chest and shoulders and don't really, that might not be the best place to be focused in if you actually want to be successful at boxing. But that is where I focus in because I feel like that is where I'm going to see his shoulders.
You're going to see
moving so that I know if a punch is coming straight at me or if it's going to be a hook and come around, then I should theoretically know whether I need to duck or, do the roll underneath thing, which really typically just leads me straight into the person's hand most of the time. Either way,
right.
I still see it coming.
Yeah.
I just go the wrong way.
Yeah.
But you have to be focused in when anything else happens in the room. If one of the kids screams, "Mommy," and I turn, then I lose my focus and I get tapped. Mm-hmm. And he really does just tap me. Now he hits Dusty. And I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. But he just kind of taps me a little bit. Sometimes when I duck the wrong way, I get hit a little harder. But that's okay. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. That's fine. But I have to be focused in on him. And that's the same with, the verse about, running the race. And we have to throw off everything that's going to hinder us.
All of our hindrances.
We have to throw off all of the hindrances, and we have to keep our eyes focused on Christ. That is the prize. We have to stay focused in our spiritual life. When we take our eyes off of God and off of Christ, then that's when the enemy comes in from the side and we're not watching and we're not ready for it.
And you get tapped.
Probably a little harder.
Way harder.
Than Mr. Gene taps me. That one might knock me down, make me cry a little bit. I have to you're supposed to keep your gloves up.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I have to keep my gloves up, but I don't. I told you I'm not great. I get focused in on, throwing the punch or watching what he's doing. And I get focused on the one thing.
Down. Yeah.
And I don't keep my gloves up. You're supposed to keep them right around your chin, I think. I pretty much just touch my cheeks with my gloves, which is not what you're supposed to do. And he laughs at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "My hands are up. My hands are up." It's not good. And it's your defense. Like, we're supposed to keep our guard up, right? And even like spiritually and in our life, we're supposed to keep our guard up. We're supposed to be on guard and all that. But I was thinking about this today. Even when I keep my hands up, his hand hits my gloves.
And then you get
and
hit in
then
the
I
face.
hit myself in the face.
That happens all the time to me in real life.
Right?
All the time.
So my hands are up. They're where they're supposed to be. And I'll raise it up a little bit to block the punch or the jab or whatever. But I'm just throwing it up there.
Yeah.
So it comes back and hits me in the face. And then he's like, well, you still got hit, didn't you? Yes, I did. So I was thinking about that because it happened a lot today.
Yeah.
While I was there. I rattled myself pretty good today. Like, I hit myself and then like chomped my teeth together.
Oh.
It was one of those.
This happens all the time, and it's so embarrassing. And they watched it happen in Kenya. I actually stabbed myself in the face and made me bleed with my
What did you
my
have in your
fingernail.
hand? Oh.
I was going to pull a bra
Aw.
strap. I pulled the bra strap up, and my hand just kept going after it popped down, and I had a cut on my face from my own fingernail because I was pulling my bra strap.
See, y'all been there, so y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
on
when
this.
you get popped in the mouth and your mouth,
By
like
yourself.
your teeth come together.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst.
So that's what happened to me today. But I realized today, and he tells me, because I've said it. So, well, how do I keep myself from hitting myself in the face? And they're like, well, you got to be quick. You got to just, that makes no sense to me. And it kind of hit me literally. Kind of hit me today that my hand has to be firm. Like, there still has to, I can't just move my hand.
There has to be resistance.
There has to be resistance in it. And it has to be a little quicker than I tend to be. I'm slow at everything. And that's one of the things that he and Dusty both tell me. Like, well, you got to be quicker. Have you met me? No. You want me to be quicker? Okay. Have you met my daughter? We're both. We don't know what that word means. But I kind of figured it out today as that happened a few times, that my hands can't just be up. They have to be firm.
Yeah.
And there has to still be strength in my arms while they're just there, which is weird and not an easy concept to grasp literally in a physical sense. Like, I'm going to hold my hands up in front of my face, but they have to be firm.
Yeah.
Like, what? And it just made me think, like, our defense has to mean something.
Yeah.
We can't just casually, throw up a defense.
No.
It has to be grounded. It has to be
swatting
rooted.
flies
We're
here.
not swatting flies.
Yeah.
We are not swatting flies with a flimsy little fly swatter.
No.
No, we need a solid wooden or metal
With
bat that we are
apathetic, like flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
No.
Like, no. It has to mean something. Like, we have to be rooted. We have to be grounded and stand firm and be strong. And our defense has to have power in it. Right?
Yes.
That was a big one for me today. We have to be prepared with our defense, and that defense has to be strong. That was a big one for me. And this is a hard one for me too. I'm supposed to keep moving. I do a lot better with the strength of my punches if I can just stand still. And if he won't move.
Yeah. That's the whole
If we can
point.
both just stand still, then I can like, talk. I have to kind of talk myself through it in my head and then kind of halfway motion it. And then I can do it. And that's like every time, y'all. It's not just like at the beginning of when we get there. No, it's like every time before I throw a punch. I have to mentally work myself through it. But I have to keep moving. And I mean, in the boxing sense, it's harder to hit a moving target. He tells me that.
Yes.
All the time. It's harder to hit a moving target. You got to move around. You can't just stay still. And then also you have to like change up what you're doing. You can't just do the same thing over and over, which I also do, because once I get it down, I can't change it or it messes everything up. I can't switch from the left hand to the right hand. Don't ask me to do that. Really? No, just let me keep doing this one motion. But you have to keep moving. And we can't be stagnant in our faith.
Right.
We can't be stagnant in our faith because if we're not moving forward, we are slowly sliding backwards.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
I've heard that several places, several different times from different sources, and I agree with it. I don't think that there is such a thing as being a stagnant Christian and just staying still.
No, you're not going anywhere. And you're definitely, I mean, I think that we get slowly pushed back. It's like a very slow moving landslide.
Yes.
It's like, no, that tree's in the same place. Nope. It's
Right?
moved.
It's moved. And it's not that our actions are causing us to slide, but if we're not actively moving forward in our faith, then we just naturally will begin to slide. And if we're not actively moving in our faith, our defense against the enemy will get weaker and weaker and weaker. We have to be positioned and prepared for attacks from the enemy. And
He's not just going to give you a break one day.
He's not.
And if he does, you've not done something right.
Right?
He doesn't see you as a threat anymore.
Right?
That's a scary place to be.
That is a scary place to be. But if we're moving, if we're positioning ourselves, then we have the advantage over him, over the enemy.
Yeah.
Not over Mr. Gene.
No.
No, I don't think I would ever be positioned to have an advantage over Mr. Gene in any way. Unless maybe it was crocheting a blanket or sewing something. But he might surprise me.
He's probably pretty good at that,
He's probably
too.
pretty good at that, too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mr. Gene is on God's team.
He is. I feel like the longer that we've been doing this, the more confident I've become in other areas also, which is weird.
That's amazing. And the fact that you're seeing it is amazing.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think part of it, though, is because if he tells me I've done a good job and I'm like, sure I did, he'll call me out on it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't let me
wallow and deflect.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he sees the spiritual aspect of it, I think, and he knows, and
I think it's not even an I think, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He sees the spiritual aspect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Anyway.
He's quoting scripture to you while you punch him.
I know.
Yeah.
Right? He definitely sees the spiritual aspect if that's what he's doing. Okay. The last thing. And if he listened to this, he'd probably be like, well, you're missing this point and this point and this point too. But these are just the ones that I've come up with. You have to use your whole body, which eluded me until just a couple weeks ago. Like all the way down to pushing off your feet, to turning your knee, turning your hip, your shoulder, the arm, and the follow through, like the whole thing of the punch.
Yeah.
You have to use your entire body. And when I finally figured out how to use my entire body, well, that was the day that he said, I used to worry about you.
That's awesome.
But now I think that if you ever had to punch somebody, you'd do a good job.
Yes. That is progress right there.
Right? He's not worried about me anymore. If I ever have to defend myself, he's not worried about me anymore, which is big.
That is big.
But I was thinking about that today.
Yeah.
Because, I went boxing today, so I'm thinking about all these things.
And you
today.
sat outside at a garage
And
sale.
I sat
all day.
outside at a garage sale. And let me tell you, not very many people come to a Friday garage sale.
No.
No. You have the people that are serious about garage sailing and they do the slow drive by and they know what they're looking for.
Yes.
And at my garage sale, they just keep driving because they're not finding it. We have to put on the full armor
Yes.
of God.
Yes.
We can't just have the helmet of salvation
Mm-hmm.
and not have the belt of truth. And we have to have the entirety of the armor to completely defend ourselves.
Absolutely. You have to have every piece.
Every piece. Every single piece. This is something else that I've gone over so
You don't have to read through
many times.
I have a checklist. You kidding?
I know you have a
You
checklist.
ready? Shoes of peace.
Check.
Breastplate of righteousness.
Check.
Helmet of salvation.
Check.
Belt of truth.
Check.
Shield of faith.
Check.
Sword of the Spirit. Yes.
Check.
That's it. Right there.
There we go.
Every day. Put it on.
I have these
Uh-huh.
and I read them every day and I still can't memorize them. I've done like 3 different studies, like actually completed the study. Followed through to the end. I have them written down in a couple of places and I still, 3 years later,
Post it.
I need to post it.
Post it.
I mean, they're written, like it's written down and hung up, which is like a
Yeah.
big post-it.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the armor, Ephesians 6, where it lists the armor, which is also where the verse that he quoted to me is Ephesians 6:12.
Sounds like everybody should be reading Ephesians 6. That is your homework.
It's
that
a good
and
one.
buy some Post-its
Buy some post-its
and write some scripture down and put it in front of you.
and get a Cinderella latte. But for we know that we do not
videos to know what that's
we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, authorities, powers over the present darkness, spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you'll be able to withstand in the evil day. So it's like it all comes together with a nice, pretty bow.
It
You know, he started out my whole thought process of telling me that my kids are not the enemy.
Your kids are not the enemy.
You know who the enemy is.
Neither is Dusty.
Exactly. Exactly. But he still lets me hit him sometimes. In a good way. In a safe way. In a non-violent way. I'm not very good at remembering where things are located and which ones are right next to each other.
Oh, okay. So you're just now finding out that those were right next to each other. And we all got to be a part of this process. Yes.
I know that they are. Every time I read this passage about the armor, I know that it starts with something about our enemy being in the heavenly realms in the spiritual warfare department.
Yes.
And then it talks about the armor of God. But I
Right.
don't ever, that particular verse is the one that it is because I don't have that one memorized, even though I've been trying to for 3 years now.
Well, you've had a lot of babies.
I've had a lot of babies in the last 5 years. Only 3.
That's a lot.
Only 3.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Anyway.
In 5 years,
So,
that's a lot.
It's like it came full circle for me. Knowing that the whole, and even if I'm boxing, even if I ever have to actually punch somebody, while that person technically in that moment is my enemy,
Yes.
they're not my enemy.
Right.
I will punch them in the face,
Yes.
but they're not my enemy.
Right. But we're talking about spiritual warfare.
We're talking about spiritual warfare.
Whoever you're fighting in spiritual warfare, they are your enemy.
Yes. the person that you feel like is coming against you is not your enemy.
Right.
What they are
It's
saying
not the
and what
person.
they are doing.
Yeah, it's not the person. You're not fighting flesh and blood. So
Right.
what that means is the person that you are upset with or is pushing your buttons or is getting on your case, they are not your
Pushing
enemy.
your buttons.
Your enemy is that spirit behind what's coming at you.
Yes, so you need to stay focused. Keep your eyes
Don't get
on
all
Christ. Don't get all sidetracked by
No.
all of the distractions and all the things that they are throwing at you.
No. Well, she needs to be this and this. And it's like, no. You
'Cause
need to
maybe
keep
you
your
do too.
eyes.
You need to keep your eyes focused. Who cares what she needs to be
Exactly.
or what he needs to be?
Like Josh.
Or that they
yeah.
need to stop singing the hot diggity dog song.
Right. When Josh
don't matter.
was today at school, somebody called him stupid. He was like, well, so-and-so called me stupid. And I said, so? I was like, Josh, does that give you an excuse?
No, it does not.
Does that change who you are?
That
no.
child is not his enemy.
I said, Joshua, are you stupid? He said, no. I said, then does what so-and-so said?
Then
Like,
you just,
is that what they said? Does
you
that
just
make you
extinguish
stupid?
those fiery darts of
And he
being called
said,
stupid.
No. I was like, does it change anything when they call you stupid? No. So does it give you an excuse to behave badly?
You know, we can say it to our kids.
Oh, for sure.
It's a whole lot harder to practice because we get distracted.
Yep.
We get distracted. We don't stay focused. We don't keep our guard up. We don't have a strong defense. We get lazy in our defense because we're doing all the other things.
Yeah.
And we don't put on our armor.
Every time today, like every 2 seconds, it was like I would take my eyes off and the Lord would be like, eyes back on, because it would immediately something would come flying at my face spiritually.
I like that we have to distinguish that tonight.
Well, with small children, at any time something can come flying at your face.
That's true. Could be a Lego. Could be a tiara.
A fist, a hand,
Fist, a foot.
a phone. Yeah.
It's usually a phone for me. Yes. It stopped working. Chunk.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's great. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on boxing and spiritual warfare. Thank you, Kristy. Thank you so much. In the ring with Kristy Hollis.
Right? I tried to get him to do a date night event and call it Ring to Ring.
Ooh, that's
and just have a bunch of couples.
I like
He
that.
did. He provided our grand prize the last date night that we had on Valentine's Day. He provided the grand prize for the game
Couples
that we
boxing.
did. It was couples boxing date night. Couples boxing. It's really great, y'all. It really is.
You should post the information.
Jokingly, I definitely will.
Yeah.
He jokingly says counseling 101
Yeah.
when we're there, but because he lets us spar each other. Mm-hmm. But when we're done with the, however many rounds we're going to do, and we do our exercises, we do our sit-ups together and we lock our legs so that when we come up in the sit-up, we kiss.
See, my abdominal muscles and the layers that are on top of my abdominal muscles
Yes.
would not allow me to get close enough to Tim to kiss him.
We struggled for a while.
Yeah.
There were many times
I mean, we could do a high five.
We would
maybe.
grab each other's arms.
Yeah.
We would be a few feet away from each other
It would
and
be
grab each
finger-
other's arms.
Finger five.
And
That's
like,
what it would be.
How close can we pull each other?
Little high one.
Yes. But we got there. It's a nice stress relief. We take the whole family. Mm-hmm. He lets the kids put on the gloves when we're done and go punch the bag. And
Josh was
it's
so
a lot of fun.
concerned today that Carson was going to be trying.
Carson puts the gloves
Carson
on.
was
He
going to
does.
box. He was like, "Mom, are they going to hit Carson?" I was like, "No,
Aw.
baby, that's not what they're doing."
He puts the gloves on and he goes and punches the bag. And he loves it. He
really
has
cute.
he just has such a proud look on his face. every
Look, I
time.
did it.
He really just touches the glove to the bag, and then he turns around and looks at you and waves his hands like, I did it, I did it, I did it. And it's so precious.
Oh,
The girls even will go and punch the bag next to me while I'm punching a bag. And sometimes they punch it too hard and it swings and they don't realize it's going to swing back at them.
yes.
And then we have to remember it swings, it comes back at you. So I usually am saying, watch out
Yeah. Absolutely.
a lot, but we love it. It's become a really great family time. And Dusty and I get a lot out of it. I think that we're in a different place now than we were when we started.
That's amazing.
And not just physically,
Yeah.
because it definitely is a workout.
Yeah.
But I think that there is some kind of magicalness of the gym. Or maybe it's just because Mr. Gene brings the Holy Spirit to wherever he is and invites him in. Anyway, he does do his first session for free. So I'll post his information if anyone's interested.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to smell my candle. And you guys follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Send Help Podcast. Come to our website, www.thesendhelppodcast.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. It's awesome. Kristy writes a beautiful newsletter every week for us. You can listen to our podcast from there, or you can download it or find it on just about every streaming platform. Leave us some comments, like us, share us, please, if you feel like your friends would love us or if you think they need to hear something. Please follow us on Instagram. Thank you all so much for tuning in and listening to us. We know that it's a choice that you have and that you're choosing to spend some of your time on Mondays with us or whenever you're listening. We love you. Let us know your prayer requests. Reach out. Talk to us. We want to interact. Yeah, and have a great week. And go get yourself a Cinderella latte.
Get a Cinderella latte
from Starbucks.
Your taste buds will thank you.
Yes, they will. It feels like it tastes like an angel hugged my mouth. I'm serious. You should taste it. It's
pretty delicious.
If you love pumpkin spice, then you need it.
If you love white chocolate.
Amen. Oh, y'all have a great week. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.